So we got Doom breaking up here, which I'm not high on. I like Doom as a tag team, but gonna have a little situation here. Former tag team partners against each other, Butch Reed and Ron Simmons, and high above the ring. And the old J.J. Dillon cage is old Peanut Head, Teddy Long.
Changes do-rag. He had a yellow do-rag on with Johnny B. Bad. Now he's got a purple do-rag on. And here we go. What is on top of the cage there? Is that pyro things on top of the cage? I guess it is. You're right. I agree. I didn't like Doom breaking up. I thought they were great together. Hell of a tag team. You know, look, that's a good shot. That really is a good shot with Teddy up high in his all white suit and his purple do-rag. How long did this cage match go?
Too long.
Yeah, it really, these two guys in a cage.
Yeah.
I get why, and I understand it, but yeah, probably too long for these guys to go.
They're going to go 2.5 stars for 9 minutes and 25 seconds. Simmons, of course, bleeding early.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of brawling, not the best action. And Meltzer would say people just aren't into this feud, and I agree.
Yeah.
Next up is the match that won match of the night, and your favorite.
All right.
We get the Steiners and Sting and Lex, and they do a fun little video before that, and then we're home stretching because, I mean, think about how great these matches are, and they touch. Rick and Scott Steiner versus Sting and Lex Luger, then Bobby Eaton and Arn Anderson, then Ric Flair and Tatsumi Fujinami. That's big time.
That's big time going home. You're right.
Not a huge gate here. It's only 76,000. Bayfront Center in St. Petersburg. Paid attendance 4,887. Meltzer would say it looked like the crowd was set up for 6,500, and he would have guessed that the crowd was around 6,000. The WWF show the previous night was at the Sun Dome in Tampa, and on top they had Ultimate Warrior and Undertaker, and they drew 5,100, and the gate was only 56,000. So the paid attendance is nearly identical, but WCW is charging higher ticket prices because it's a pay-per-view. So interesting time, huh?
It is. And the Bayfront Center, if I recall, was not a large 10,000 seat type building. It was like maybe 8,000 or so. And I'm not sure. I could be wrong. It could be, a bigger building, but I thought it ended up looking pretty good on camera. This, you say this match got 2.5 or 2 3/4 stars or whatever. That's not bad. That's for this match. It's not bad at all. If you think about these two guys who are brawlers in a cage, we talk so much about, and rightfully so, Ron Simmons being the world champion and having a great career and being a legit motherfucking badass that you wouldn't want to fuck with. But I think sometimes we miss out how good of a hand, if I can use that old JR term, how good of a hand Hacksaw Butch Reed was. Because he had a good career and he did some good things. And he reinvented himself many times. I mean, wasn't that one time, didn't he have blonde hair? Didn't we see that earlier? One of our shows, and he was Doom with a mask, and I just thought he was pretty good.
He was over in Florida.
And probably Louisiana and Texas too.
That's just a deep cut for our Something to Wrestle listeners.
Okay.
What do you think about fucking Jay-Z going full tilt on this Bojangles shit?
I know. Do you know I'm going to be on his podcast?
What?
Yes, I am. Promoting our podcast on his podcast.
Yeah, because I'm sure a lot of people listen to that, but don't know what this show is. I think you're misunderstanding the way promotion works.
Okay, so you think I should?
Maybe tomorrow you could just stand out in front of your house and yell at cars as they go by. Here's what I want. I'm going to get one of those little flippy signs like they've got at like Schlotsky's or something. I want you to be out front just spinning. Oh, that'd be a great job for Jobber Schiavone. Give his ass some purpose in life, a little direction.
Wow.
Oh, hey, I just realized as I talked about your jobber son. Oh, I guess I kayfabed. I said son. Anyway, I've realized I forgot to call back your non-jobber son.
Well,
I got busy.
I understand.
Oh, pile driver. That's what Jobber Schiavone is going to do when he sees me one day.
No, he's not a violent kid.
He might be if I keep calling him a jobber.
Right. You need to call back Matt.
I do. I agree.
Yeah. He's like, anyway, well, this show is
grinding to a halt here.
Yes, it is. And it picked up a little steam when we were doing a lot of the crazy shit like Oz and bears pissing on a runway.
Nobody cares about this.
And right. And Missy Hyatt, going into the locker room again, and the stories about Missy and Tommy Rich. That's when it was great. But now, but I do want to say to Ron Simmons, my good friend, longtime personal friend, I love you.
Ron Simmons will be at Starrcast.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, let me ask, do you think, why do you think this feud wasn't resonating with the crowd? Is it Butch Reed? Is it Ron Simmons? Or is it the fact that it's a heel team splitting up and nobody cares?
That's exactly what it is. But heel teams have split up before, and people have cared. One becoming a babyface, one becoming a heel. I think, and this is not me trying to second guess booking, I think you need to do a better job of making one of these guys your babyface before you turn him babyface. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go back to the old standby. All right. The old standby was Blackjack and Ric Flair. Blackjack turned babyface on Ric Flair. And by the time that they turned babyface, the fans were ready for him to turn babyface because the way they had positioned him prior to the angle happening. And it worked. And I'm not so sure that Ron was positioned as a good enough babyface here at that time. But then again, I'm talking about what I remember in the late 70s, and now here we are in 91, and I know business changes and things change. And so, yeah. And of course, maybe also there's also the fact that fans like Doom like you did, and they didn't want to see him split. That could have had something to do with it. 2 foot on the rope. And wow. That's some pretty, I don't know if those were working shots or not. And there could be the fact that now, was this the final blow off of these two, or was this like their first match?
I think everybody prayed for it to be a mercy killing.
Okay. Because I'm saying is in the old school wrestling, you have a match, you have a no disqualification, you have a no count out match or whatever, pinfalls, and then you blow it off in the cage. If you go right to the cage in the feud, then you haven't let the feud build enough. Now, again, that's really old school mentality, but it may come into play here. So I don't know where they were in the storyline of this. Really, I don't. I should, but I don't. I don't know if this is their first match with Teddy Long being in the shark cage, or as you said, the J.J. Dillon cage. It may have been the blow off to this one, but yeah, fans are not digging it at all.
They did. By the way, the next show is the world's worst show, which is Great American Bash 91, the one where Flair is not there. So this is Flair's last WCW pay-per-view before he heads to the WWF. Yeah.
It's a show that we have in our archives.
Yep.
With, I believe, Luger and Wyndham.
Yep. In a cage.
On the main event.
In this same cage.
Yes, sir.
That's the one with the crappy scaffold match. The capture the flag match with P&N News teaming with Bobby Eaton against Steve Austin and Terrence Taylor.
Oh, thank you for the reminders. There's Klondike Bill sighting. Teddy jumping up and down. God, Simmons he was a badass. Okay, and we're going to see Teddy throw the chain. Oh, good toss there, Teddy. Right over the referee's head, who didn't even see it. Referee turned that way. Didn't even see it. He ducks. And then Ron Simmons with the sidewalk slam, buddy. Just damn. He's your winner. All right. So now we're going to have some real good matches. The tag match that we talked about that I know you're ready to shit on.
Yep.
Dusty adjusting his bolo there. And, of course, Bobby Eaton and Arn Anderson, which is hell shit. The only thing you had to say, well, even if it came across as a bad match, you would think that Bobby Eaton and Arn Anderson were good just because of how good they are. And then, of course, Flair and Fujinami. A lot of on cameras here.
Yeah. Dusty had himself on camera a lot.
Right.